Dave here with Half Dozen Customs. We're back out here on the Jeep. We left off last night with getting this bar welded in. So I got some construction board paper. We are going to start cutting and trimming this to make a piece to fit. Hopefully, if we do a decent job making the one side, hopefully it'll fit the other side. We only have to make one template, but I highly doubt that. So let's get to making the one side. We'll see if it fits the other side. If not, then we'll make that side too. All right, here we go. So I did say that we had to run to Ace this morning. So I did get some more 2-in-1, so we can get that trans mount painted, and we can touch up our welds in here. But what I was hoping didn't happen did happen, and we went from 70 degrees out yesterday to 35 and snowing today. So I don't think I'm going to do any painting today. We'll just work on this, and we'll just work on this and get this situated. Now I gotta try and get this close enough so I can weld it. So I just rubbed my finger on the frame here, got it all dirty, and then I ran it along the bottom edge here to give me my mark. So now I need to do the same thing on the top. Now, if we mess up and we cut too much, we can always come back with tape and fill in the gap. Little kid scissors are killing me here. I can't find my big ones. I don't know where they would have went. So if we end up running this the whole length, kind of how I have it set up at the moment, then we need to put some hole saw, like right here and right here. Well, I guess we don't have to do one up here because you can reach it from in here. But the bumper bolts are back here, so we need to be able to get to the bumper bolts. So you know, we may do some nice little speed holes in here or something to make it so that we can get to access the bumper bolts. So now, if you look down on this frame, like we're not the straightest, like it has a jog in it. So we are gonna have to, you know, we're gonna have to probably put a couple of bends in that 1/8 inch, steel. You know, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I can use my little torch and heat it up and we can kind of hammer it in place maybe. I don't know. I want it to look nice. I don't want a bunch of hammer marks in it. So, but we're gonna have to figure out. Let's see if this fits the other side. Sure does. So we're good. We only had to make one template, and I'm happy with this template. So let's write. We'll write left on this side. Technically that's my right, but from the driver's seat it's left. Let's see, let's just do driver's side. Driver's side. Boom. Right. Passenger side. So now, excuse me. Now I think we can lay this on to the 1/8 inch plate, mark out our right and our left, and then we can cut it out, and it will probably need I want to say much trimming and grinding and fitting and bending and tweaking to get it to fit. Because, you know, 1/8 inch doesn't flex quite like this guy does. But hopefully it'll just be a little bit. That's why we make this template. You know, I think the main thing is just going to be getting it to, you know, it does have some curves in the frame, but you know, we can kind of look and see that, hey, like right at the front of this bar, it needs to be tweaked out this way. And then about halfway through the bar, it needs to be tweaked back. So the front's pretty straight. And then we got a couple of jogs. We should be able to just put it in the vise and, you know, a little bam bam on it. So, but I think I'm okay with this, to get this cut out. So let me get set up and we'll be right back. All right, I kicked the heat on for a few minutes, let it warm up in here. It's getting a little chilly. I think I got everything set up. Just move the one camera around. So here we got it, you know, kind of laid out, and And then, you know, we got plenty of room to do this on the other side. So let's get it marked out. Thinking, should we drill holes in the corners there? I mean, I'm planning on welding it all the way around that box, so I guess we don't need to. Cut all the bottom stuff off first, since it's being held by the piece itself. I'm gonna cut right on the line with this. Hopefully by cutting on the line, we won't have much trimming to do. Wrist is killing me for one, so holding on to this thing and trying to cut can only take so much of it before my wrist is just killing me. But it's also freezing up, which is making my hand like ice cold. Nope.
That last cut, I don't know what it was with that last cut. Kept on to bounce, and when it bounces like that, it just destroys the blades. So I was really trying to keep it from bouncing, but alright, so I got this clamped together. I'm going to go clean it up on the belt sander. You guys watched me do that the last couple of times with doing the cross members. So I won't make you guys watch it again. I'll be back when they're all cleaned up. See you soon. Well, I guess see you soon over here.
Okay, we're back. I got them all cleaned up. So here's where we're at. They fit good. Like, we line up perfect with my cut there. Here I got a little bit of trimming to do on that side to get it lined up with the cut. But I think we're ready to, you know, we need to put our end in it. So it needs a bend. Excuse me, let me take the cap out of my mouth. So we need to do a bend like right there. And then I think we're gonna have to bend it back right about here. Same thing with this side. We need to put a bend about right there. And then it looks like bend it back somewhere right in here. So yeah, let's just let's do one at a time, and let's see if we can get it to go the right way. So put you guys down in here. What are we gonna do here? Because I can't exactly get it in the vise. Nope, I'm gonna have to hit. That was almost a bad idea. Get the trooper. See, this is where I really should bend them in. So I should have probably bent the little guy last. I think that works. So, a nice little bend in it. Hopefully I didn't do too much. Well, I think we closed our gap up a little here. Because we put that I had that fit nicely because we put that bend in it. Let me take a little out of it. You guys are about to die anyways. I'm gonna take a little out of it, put a new battery in you. Be right back. All right, so here's where we're at. I just grinded those two inside edges that go around that box. When we bent them, it just kind of closed that box up a little bit. So I hit it with the grinder just a little bit, and it popped right in place. So this is where we're at. I think we need to grind this down a little bit just so that it fits this dimple of the frame. We need to take this off right here so that it meets up with the frame. We have to trim a little bit down here so that it fits into this frame section where it's cut. And then I just we need a hole here and we need a hole here to get to the bumper bolts. So before, remember I said it came down on an angle like this, and you were able to get to the bumper bolt here. And then this one, they had a square cut out like they do back here. I could do the square like they had it so that it matches that, but I want to do the holes so that it matches, this and the trans mount. Anyways, let's get to cutting that. Almost looks like a hatchet. Yacha! Yacha! Beauteous. I think that one is ready for speed holes. I think it looks good. Minus how jacked up the frame itself is, but I think I was planning on welding around this guy solid, so he's welded in there very well. I was planning on welding up back here where it meets the old box for the frame, and then I was going to do on the top and the bottom, I was going to do like a stitch, a stitch, a stitch, a stitch. Same thing with on the bottom. That's how it was from the factory. And I'm going to try and put, like, they had a stitch here, they had a stitch here, they had a stitch here. So I'm gonna put the stitches back in the same spots that they had them. And then that should fill up these boogery gaps here. I'm not positive, but if I had to guess, the stitches that they had in here were done with the torch. They torch welded it. And that's why there's a big chunk of the frame missing, because they actually just melted the frame into the cap. So, but I think, like I said, that one's ready for holes. So I guess we can do this guy. Bend him up. Let's see if she fits. some odd reason that one just didn't. The other one just felt like it fell right in place. Come on, let go. What are you guys doing over there? You guys don't want to watch anymore? Like I was touching you or shaking the truck. You guys went to sleep over there. More of a bend on this one. We don't get it again. Okay, so this one needed a little clamp. Which is, you know, that's fine with me. We line up everywhere, we're good. This one I may need to do a little grinding up here at the top. All right, so I think are you guys watching me?
But I will be watching you.
I think that's good for those two pieces. I'm gonna go eat, and when we come back, we'll paint the inside of the frame, and then while that's drying, we'll drill some holes in that stuff, and then we need to paint the inside of those pieces. And then we'll make a decision of whether or not we're going to weld them in wet, or if we let them dry overnight and then I weld them in tomorrow. So, but let's go get some food in our belly. I'll be back. All right, I'm back after a sandwich. So I think. Because the inside of this frame's all rusty, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit it with the wire wheel real quick, and we're gonna PR15 it. So I got the PR15 out, and I got it stirred up. Just gonna use a little acid brush. So let's grab our wire wheel real quick, just real fast. We're not gonna spend much time on it. Just wire wheel, blow it out. I kicked the heat on before I kicked the camera on. Got it up to like 68 in here. It's already dropped down to 66 in the last 2 minutes. It is getting cold again. My weld hanging out over the edge here a little bit. Let's knock it down a little bit. Looks like it would be in the way of putting a new piece on. Alright, I think we got this side good. See? I reached in there as far as I could. So that way when you're looking through the holes, alright, I think that's good enough. I'll clean up this mess. Let me clean this stuff up and get set up for drilling some speed holes, and I'll be right back. Alright. Oi! Okay, so I think I'm set up to do some drill press stuff. I got a camera coming from each angle, so hopefully we'll be able to get what we need to. So for the smaller holes, I'm gonna do just a 1/2" drill bit. And then for the bigger holes, we're going to do this, it's 1 1/4 or 32 mil. Next one, part of the hole is on our bend, so I may have to change this, the center drill bit out for a longer one, because I don't know that might be a problem too. Change the way the vise sits. Gotta keep these guys. I'm gonna use them to plug the spot welds. On the frame that we drilled out to get that old cross member out. There's big giant holes in the frame. These guys. So those things are perfect. They'll just drop right in and we can weld them up. It was a little tougher. I was hitting my hitting the vise. I was trying not to, but I didn't really have much of a choice. Looks like we still got most of our teeth. I see a couple that look a little wore. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a little lacquer thinner on a towel. Try and get rid of all my magic marker marks and clean the oil off of this thing. We'll have to clean it good and we'll have to clean it good and give it a good sanding before we paint. Let's go take a look. See what it'll look like. So, that's it. Oi, excuse me guys. So, and you can get to, he's a little back there, but you can still get to him. So, you know, you can get your finger in there, excuse me. So you can get your finger in there and get the bolt started, and then you can stick a wrench in there and grab onto the bolt, tighten them up. So, and I think it looks pretty sharp. So, all right, well, I'm gonna get the other one done. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do, you know, the same thing over again. So, I'll be back when it's time to DA it up and spray a little 2-in-1 on it. And then I think that'll probably, it's getting dark out, so yeah, that'll probably be the end of today. We'll get them welded in tomorrow. So, all right, so we're back. Yeah. I'm gonna DA him up now. Do the Britney. So I'm gonna rough them up with some 80 grit, and then we'll pre-clean them, and we'll spray the insides black. It's a little cold out to be painting tonight, but if I don't get it done, we can't weld them in tomorrow. Hey, still wanna come on. Alright, so we got our first coat on them. Not gonna make you guys watch, you know, 2 or 3 more coats, so I will see you guys tomorrow for some welding. We're back out on the Jeep today, and I'm gonna try and get these 2 frame rails finished up. My brain farted there for a second. So we need to clean up any of the edges that might have paint on them. Looks like just the top one on this side. Bottom side on this side. Then we gotta clean up this bar so that we can weld to the bar. We need to clean up the frame edges so that we have a clean surface to weld to. So hopefully this won't take too long since everything's pretty much ready to go. So a little cleanup. All right, I think we're pretty good. Let's plug the welder in. So I do want to put a couple of stitches up under the bottom. I hate welding upside down, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, I'm gonna go underneath and try and do some stitching down there. I have to turn the wire way up. I cleaned 3 spots, so hopefully we can get those 3 spots. I've been welding at about 5 1/4. I'm gonna turn it up to 6 3/4. Reason being is I have found nobody's ever taught me how to weld upside down, but I have found that if you turn the wire speed up, you don't have it melting and dropping off onto you while you're welding. So probably could have turned it up just a little bit more. I did have it dropping down on me a little bit. But they look good. I'm happy with them. They're not big, giant, boogery welds. They melted in nice like this stuff up here. Okay, so I'm gonna let that cool down. Oh, you know what? I still want to weld that up back there. I want to weld this guy here, but I don't know if I'm gonna weld back here because it's hard to get to with the motor in. When I pull the motor back out, maybe we'll go back and weld that. I don't know that we actually need it. You know, I think everything that we just did here right now is perfectly strong and safe, and I think it's good. You know, I'm gonna let it cool before I pull the clamps off, and then let me weld that up real quick, and then we'll make a decision of whether or not I'm gonna weld up the front. It looks clean without it, so. Alright, so I think that's it. We are welded in. I put the stitches back where they had them from the factory, plus a couple more. Like I said, I'm gonna let it cool off before we pull these clamps, just so nothing moves. And then I'll do the other side and get that done. And I'll show you guys the finished product when we're all done. I'm out. All right, so we're back after getting this welded up and cleaned up. So I think back here, when I pull the motor back out, I think these welds that go down here along the frame on both sides, they're good welds, and I'm not really worried about them, but I don't like that there's just a weld like that in the middle of the frame. So I think I'll go back after we pull the motor, and I'm gonna grind those flat. So that from the factory, I cut that there so that we could get the old cross member out. And you know, the frames were plated before and it was all one piece, so I cut it and re-welded it right there, and I'm just not a fan of seeing the weld there. I think if we go in and we grind it flat so that it looks like one piece, I think it'll look better. So this thing, it is welded in. It's welded in good. I'm not worried about anything. I think grinding those welds down will be okay. I did not weld the fronts or the backs of this bar. I think it looks good the way that it is. That bar is welded to the frame on the inside of the frame, and now it has that the boxed part of the frame installed, and it's welded along the top of that. I think that that's plenty. Before, the factory one was just held in with 4 rivets. It wasn't even welded in. So now it's welded in. I think it's stronger than it ever was. So I think we're good. So now, when we did this side of the truck, that footage got lost. So now we're gonna be starting on this side. So the lost footage from before will now be replaced with the passenger side. So stay tuned, that's next. I'm out.
Oop.